to our live streams. It's been a while, I think about 4 weeks or something, since our last Steady Pikachu live stream. But today we are back. And we're back with a brand new team, so I am looking forward to it. But before we begin, a bit of a housekeeping. So, you might have seen I've been focusing on PCM career mode recently when it comes to my videos. That is going to be the focus for the off-season. So the cycling off-season. But also next to that, I've got at least 2 Zwift videos coming in the next 2-3 weeks. And there's going to be regular Zwift videos as well in the coming months. Because Zwift season is back and I've been enjoying Zwift racing a lot recently. So there's some cool stuff I want to show you. But today is not going to be about any of that, because today we're playing Pro Cycling Manager 25 and we're going to be focusing on this man. Teddy Pikachu is back. I will be honest, I do not remember even the slightest where we left off last time. The only thing I remember is January 4th, 2027. Our third season has begun. And with our third season comes a transfer. We went from our Sparkle Oita team to Kina and Japara Airlines, but that was basically the same team, just with a different sponsor. But now we are actually in a different team, a pro team, so a division upwards from where we were, hopefully with some intriguing competitors, I would say, because I expect this to not be that easy. I've noticed in our recent career mode episodes that the difficulty I'm playing on, 1.10, is really hard. I don't know what happened when it comes to PCM updates recently, but I feel like the game got a lot harder. Or I got worse. It could be either way. Welcome to the chat, Luke, Ryan, Nigel, Yaku as well. How is everybody doing? So, let's start off by reintroducing our man, Teddy Pikachu, the counterbalance in the sport for the overpowered Tadej Pogacar. In the end of the series, we want to beat him. We want to beat him in the best possible races like the Tour de France 2030 maybe. Maybe in 3 years we'll get there. But we're growing quite well already. The Unibet Rose Rockets, I gotta get used to that name because it's been 1 day since they've had that name. Rose is a new co-sponsor replacing Titema in the name. They are a bike brand. Unibet is a betting company, and I will say at the start of this season, I personally don't recommend nor endorse gambling or sports betting. So don't see me riding with Teddy Pikachu within that team as me supporting sports betting in general. I am personally not a fan. I've done it in my life, but I would not recommend it. Nonetheless, that's not what this is about. We're going to focus on our stats first. We've got 73 flat stat, 76 mountain, 77 medium mountain, 70 hill stat. So puncher qualities like hill are not necessarily where they need to be in the future, because if we want to do well in hill classics, then we need to be a little bit better also on hilly finishes in Grand Tours, etc. I don't want to lose time. Time trial is weak, 67 with 68 prologue. Cobblestones starting to look pretty good, 76 cobble stat. Sprint stat 68, so my boy has, how would I classify this? In a 4-up group sprint, in a versatile GC medium mountain stage, I might have a chance. But in a larger group, 68 is simply not good enough. So that's something that in an ideal world also goes to 71, something like that. Now, for the rest, I'm pretty happy where the secondaries are at. Recovery 70, I obviously want to see go up though. Now, before we continue, let's take a look at our team here, because I also made some changes there to make it a bit more realistic. I may or may not have played with the database of the game a little bit to make the transfers of real life happen. So Dylan Groenewegen, for example, with Matthias Kopetzky and Niklas Larsen, or joining the Unibet Rose Rockets next year. I could have added every single name, but I didn't feel like it. Too much effort. So I added the most important riders that came to mind immediately. So that's why they are present in this team right now. Next to that, there's some solid other riders here, like Dries de Bond is part of this team, but when it comes to climbing, so potential companion for me in the climbs with Teddy Pikachu is Thomas Gloak, ex-Visma rider. I don't know what his stats are here because, yeah, we are a pro cyclist, and on pro cyclist mode, we don't necessarily know it perfectly what the stats are of our teammates and our competitors are. Okay. On top of that, there is one more thing I changed, and I don't think we can see it at the moment, and I hope it works, because I've never tried this in my entire life. But I can't see it yet, but I decided to change the national teams for the World Championships and the European Championships. Doesn't matter for the European ones, because Japan is not in Europe. Spoilers. Geography lessons with Benji. Japan is not in Europe. What I'm trying to say is, I have made sure that Japan now rides the World Championships on paper. On paper. We'll see if my database editing works, because I've never tried this, but we'll find out eventually. But hey, we know our team, we know our rider. I do not remember if we did anything related to the schedule, but I do want to take a look at it while we are at it. Renzi in the chat asks, are there any Asian championships? So a Asian equivalent to the European Championships. Based on what I could find, no. So I don't believe that is the case. Could be wrong, but I don't believe that's the case. We're starting off the season in Mallorca, apparently, with the Trofeo Calvia, which is a race that I actually enjoy starting with, because I do believe we can top 5 this race. I don't know if we can win it, because at the end of the day, if we look closely at the parkour here, then we see a parkour that is a hilly parkour with a flat finish. We've got the qualities to survive every hill on this parkour. Do we have the qualities to win the sprint? It depends on the start list, and I don't see crazy riders. Ruger Adria should be pretty good at this. Might be the favorite, actually. Morgado exists as well, of course. Tim Wellens, etc. So, yeah, there's a couple of competitors, but the top 5 should be doable in this race. After that, we've got the GP Bessèges, which 5-day stage race in France, of course. And we've got the usual stages, Montbouquet finish, and then the time trial. So, pretty sure, I could be wrong, but this looks like the edition where Arnaud Delis did really well on stage 4 in real life. That's my vague memory of this. Hi, Duck. Welcome to the chat. Hello, Veloferdi. Welcome. Peter asks, didn't see Lukas Kubiš. Is he part of the team, or did he get transferred in this PCM file? I actually genuinely don't know. But I think it would be realistic for him to be transferred if that was the case. Can I search? Do I have a search box on the search page? Yes, I do. Kubiš now rides for Tuner Pro Cycling, so he's my competitor now. Okay. Back when it comes to the calendar. Let's go back here. We've got Classic VAR. This is intriguing. That is the stuff I like, because actually it's not as climby as I expected it to be. So it's basically an uphill kick finish. So Hillstad, which I don't really have, it's going to be important. Tour des Alpes Maritimes. We're cooking with, well, I like the Col d'Este stage. The final stage here is really fun. The Col de Pay as well, which that is the climb in the final stage of Paris, where Wout van Aert launched Roglic in 2023? Pure guess. Could be 22. Nonetheless, let's continue onwards. We've got Omloop, Nieuwsblad, and Kuurne, Brussels, Kuurne. We've got 76 cobble and climbing abilities, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to make sure my camera's on the right now, because otherwise you can barely see the schedule. And after that, Tirreno Adriatico. So we are doing a proper World Tour race in the first 3 months of our playthrough. Actually, I can see it on the left side. I can't see it on the right side. That suggests to me that Tirreno Adriatico is a race that my team wants to send me to, but that our wildcard has not been accepted yet. So it's very possible that we don't end up riding this, which that would be a bit of a shame. But I think we should consider riding some of these 1.1 Belgian classics. The downside is that I think a lot of these will end in a reduced sprint finish, which we don't have a sprint. So that is definitely the downside. But I recognize duels still want to try and ride offensive on them. Saint-Main is not exactly the hardest parkour, is it? I'll add it nonetheless. I will also add, I think... Oh, I need to first... I forgot. Pro Cyclist depends on the points on the right top. We've got 11 points remaining for the season. So I think we left off in our last live stream by already changing a bunch of the calendar. So yeah, I'm not sure I want to spend my 11 points on the Ename Saman Classic. And I'm pretty sure Ename is like a cheese brand, but I could be wrong. Or a beer brand? I think both. Could be wrong. Clearly not a beer and cheese expert. What else do we have planned here? Brugge to Pan is nothing for us. Breda Koksijde is completely flat. The now I look forward to. Lots of cobbles. Yeah, Renzi in the chats reminds me that I've done the calendar, but I do want to take a look to remind myself what we have planned. Ronde van Vlaanderen is the start of April if we're allowed to go, so if we have a wild card. And then after that, we've got some Frenchy races. Besançon, Jura Cyclist. These are the climby ones, so that was a good decision. Eschborn, Frankfurt. Not really feeling that, to be honest. Might change that later. Trobro I like. Yeah, we added Hungary because we've got a climbing stage on the final stage. And then 1 month later, we've got Highland Vastgoed Heisse. But bro, that's a flat race. I'm not riding that. I'm spending points on that. I'm sorry. Balwaze Belgium Tour. Time trial to start off with, but the yellow cobbles next to the flat icon here would suggest that it's hard cobbles, but I see 2 little cobble sections. 3. I'm sorry, but I don't expect that to be the hardest race either. But I do like stage 4 here. Quite climbing, I would say. And then Sibiu has quite a bit of climbing. I think 2 climbing stages. Yes, indeed. Austria has climbing stages. Alsace has lots of climbing stages. We're not riding the biggest schedule here, but I'm okay with that because we are playing on super extreme difficulty still. If you don't know, 1.10 difficulty means that our opponents have basically a plus 10% on their stats compared to me. So I'm doomed. That's as simple as it is. Tour de l'Ain, the last part of the season, a bunch of Belgian one-day races that we might change depending on whether we have extra points later. But yeah, we've got a schedule for now. I think the one thing that we're missing right now is, where do I do this again? Training. So we got to do our objectives. We have not done this yet. And right now we've got 0 objectives the entire year. The benefit of having no objectives is that every single week throughout the year is a general preparation week. And a general preparation week means, as we can see on the right now, that we can have 5 weeks action, so a rider will progress a lot. But I don't think that's realistic. I don't know about you, Chad, but I'd like to believe that we should have goals this season that will restrict our training a little bit. But at the end of the day, that's how cycling works. I don't really want to do completely unrealistic playthroughs, you know? So now the question is, which races are the most important for us? Hello, Jonathan. Welcome to the chat. Princess aka in the chat says Teddy trained his whole life to finally win at cobble races. Yes, indeed. He hasn't touched a single cobble in his entire career, but somehow he's got 76 cobble stat. That's brilliant. Renzi in the chat says, are you considering turning down the stat factors in the time trials? Not really. Especially because, ironically, time trials have been the easiest part of this difficulty. And I think that is because when you put the difficulty on 1.10, you got the general difficulty on 1.10, but then next to that you've got a drop-down menu for time trials where extreme is the maximum. So I think it's not possible in the game right now to have 1.10 difficulty on time trials. I think it automatically overrides with the extreme in the drop-down box, so you only have 1.05 difficult. Does that make any sense, or am I sounding like an absolute lunatic, which I probably am. Yannick asks, what do you think about the Rockets, their new signing? Oh God. Are we talking about the Norwegian guy? Or have I missed anything? Terrifying. Oh, Yannis Peter, is that him? I swear I saw that a couple days ago. I swear that's not news. No? That's the guy that won the Czech Tour stage, right? I think so. He's seemingly pretty good. Like, I won't lie, I haven't like kept my eye on Yannis Peter every race of the season, but if you can win that stage at the Czech Tour, then you can climb a bicycle, you know? Okay. The thing is, I'm in this like space where maybe a weird situation where I talk with riders or staff members or people from teams to the point that I hear about this rider going there, this rider going there, and then even on the podcast, I sometimes have moments of, okay, the rider that I want to talk about his transfer, is this official news yet? Or am I about to accidentally leak a transfer that somebody told me privately and told me to not tell anyone, you know? Like, so I generally couldn't tell you for the life of me whether Yannis Peter was announced today or a week ago. That kind of stuff. Cole in the chat says Daniel Benson. He's got a Substack about, well, he's a journalist, and he's the closest thing to a Fabrizio Romano in the sport of cycling. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment because I don't follow football close enough, but Benson said they're trying to sign Wout Poels. That would be sweet and a great addition to their climbing squad. Yes, but also very expensive. So it's always a balance on whether you want to invest X amount of money, whether it's Wout Poels is probably between 500k and $1 million. If you want to spend that money on Wout Poels, or whether you'd rather sign three climbing equivalents of Matthias Kopecky. It's like the Groenewegen versus Kopecky. I would rather sign Kopecky for the future, but I'd rather also have Groenewegen for the current plus marketing vibe. Just the balance between the two. I still think Kopecky is the best transfer that the team has done, together with the Niklas Larsen guy. And what are we doing? Oh yeah, we were looking at the training. I completely lost it for a second. Ay. What is our plan here, boys? I find it really difficult to plan our season objectives because races like the Tour of Flanders are big races for me, but I can't plan them because I don't know whether I'll ride it yet. And then Tirreno Adriatico, I'd like to be pretty good at Tirreno Adriatico, but I can't plan it in because my boy's not certain he'll ride it. On the other hand, we could take it differently. We could take the season on in a way of, we'll select the likes of Hungary, Sibiu Tour as our goals, and then consider RVV as a first learning experience, which is also a realistic way of looking at it. Or we could just manually change it, no? Where we, for example, know that RVV is... What date is RVV? A first week of April, I think. Might be the second week sometimes, but I think it's first week. So hypothetically, this is where RVV would be. That would mean that we're basically in okay form for 2 days. For the NA and for RVV. That's not great. Ooh. If anything, it's difficult. To the Hungary, we've got Trobro Leon. We've got Mercantour. That's a parkour I like for my man. Chat says the 31st of March. I'll check in a second, don't worry. We've got Japan and Seas. No offense. I like my Japanese Patriots, but I think we can win that without a fitness peak. Sibiu Cycling Tour Austria. I do like this region here. So if that could be like a period where we do try and be at our best for, let's say, 2 weeks here, I think that would be nice. Winning both Sibiu and Austria would be a good part of our season. Lots of UCI points for the team, baby. And the question then is, do we go for an RVV? Or do we go for a, let's say here, Tirreno Adriatico? That's a good question, actually. But if we do Tirreno Adriatico, then it's impossible to set a goal on RVV. Chat, what do you think? Or, wait a second. Opening weekend. Forgot it existed for a second, but that's right here, for example. And then can we still put it? No, we can't do anything. Oh, yeah, this is difficult. What about a B goal? How fast can we put another B goal? We could, wait a sec, we could technically be informed from opening weekend until Tirreno, chat. What are your thoughts? Am I being dumb? Or am I being smart? I'm too scared to launch a poll on that question because most of you will say you're dumb, Benji. But I think this might be an option. What do you think? I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting. The clock is ticking. Start chatting. It's probably not a good thing that I've got a delay on the live stream. I should probably fix that. Because every time I ask a question, I have to wait 15 seconds for an answer. Nonetheless, I think this might be an okay idea. But if we do, can we then not do this? Is it not a... No, we can't. I was considering saying maybe we can do like a full-on objective right here. But then we'll have a rest week in the middle of Tirreno Adriatico. So that's not ideal. But I do think this could be the play. That is 3 weeks at target B objective. I think I'll keep it like this for now. And then before we get to the yellow weeks, we'll come back to this and see whether we have access to Tirreno Adriatico, whether we have access to Omloop at Nieuwsblad, whether we have access to RVV. Because it all depends on that. I can't just imagine and go at the flow like that. I need to adapt along the way. So I think I'll keep it like this for now. This is our starting plan, but we certainly do need to take a look at our general preparation here because we don't have anything planned when it comes to our week actions, and that is stupid. So we got to fix that. Now, I had a plan for this. The problem is, the live stream on which I told you my plan was a month ago. And I do not remember my plan. So the outcome is that I don't have a plan anymore because this brain ain't working. So if I then take a look at this, we've got 0 weeks actions. Our weakness as a rider is currently that we have Hillstad missing and time trial missing. I'm clicking on the back button and I was hoping for that to take me to the training page. There we go. Does that mean, because right now I've got 50% on my cobble, 20% of climbing, neither of those are what I really want to train right now. I want to get better time trial stat. I could go for a specification time trial, or I could go for specification stage races and get extra climbing and time trial stat. But I'll probably have less time trial stat by doing this option. But I think it's the better option. What do you think, chat? Am I being dumb? I will fill that in. After 1 week, we'll have 17%. Copy to the active week and also exceeding. Oh, I need to make sure I do it like this. I need to drop it on the bottom, general preparation typical week. And then copy to all general preparation weeks. This would make it so that by the end of January, we've got 63% on stage races. Are we going to upgrade to level 14 by then? I don't think so. So it's probably going to take until at least Bessèges to level up. Then the next week, we've got 3 of them. Princess in the chat says, wasn't the plan stage races? I think so as well, but I generally can't remember, so I guess that's what we're going with. Ay. Ooh, 71% after that week. We're going to be at 100% by 85% by the time we hit our BP. This is not the most ideal situation, but there's not much more we can do, I reckon. we've got... Can we add this? Yes, we can. So in a B week, we can still train. I did not know that. So we can keep it going up to 91% by the end of that fast B peak. And then after that, we've got... Okay, wow. Our social, we can spend time with our friends on the rest week. Woo! I'm sorry, but Teddy Pikachu, he ain't got no friends. The only friend he has is victory. Okay, that was so cringe. So, this means that we'll get to 100% by April. We'll probably have leveled up by then, so it's not ideal, but whatever. What are we gonna do? So that's our plan. That's what we're going with for now. We've gone over the rider data, we've gone over the team, we've gone over the training, we've gone over the calendar. That's all we can do here. So I think it's finally time, chat. I think it's time to start our third season with the Unimate Rosa Rockets. I'll call them the Rockets from now because that name is a bit of a mouthful. But let's start by skipping a few days, shall we? Towards the Trofeo Calvia in 3 weeks. Arne in the chat says, it will take some time to get 100% training if you played realistic. This will hurt his development a bit. I know. I've noticed. I'll decide at Trofeo Calvia whether it's worth it. Repio in chat says you should do more fitness training. At what point do you see that? As in, I agree. But if we... Hypothetically, let me show you. Hypothetically, if I, instead of having 5 stage race week actions, add a physical instead, then my stage races will grow slower, but I will get more XP, and it will stack. It's a big question. You're not wrong. How much difference is it? 3%? What if I do it every week? Let's put it on every single general week from that point onwards. The growth is not that much slower, to be honest. We can afford to do that. I think this is what you meant by fitness training, right? What is this? Race-specific preparation. Pull out all the stops to gain a bit more fitness? Bruh. Not that desperate for fitness. Anyway, we'll continue like this for now. We'll ride Cavia and after... Cavia. Why do I say Cavia? A Cavia is a hamster in Belgium. So, Trofeo Calvia. I'm actually looking forward to getting into this. Sorry that it's taken so long to be back with Teddy Pikachu. And also sorry that it's taking so long this episode to get into the racing. But the season preparation is important. And I want to get it right, you know? Oh, chat. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Invitation obtained. To Dwars door Vlaanderen, Strade Bianche, Omloop, Paris-Roubaix and Tirreno. So, no response from RVV yet. That is sad. Does it mean we're not accepted to RVV? It might be. We don't know yet. But we are going to go to Tirreno then. It's on our list now. Yes, indeed. So... Ay. Calendar. What's our calendar? No, training. It's right here. It's so difficult. I could just also do this. And hope that I'm really close to my best form at opening weekend. And then we got one more week of general preparation. One more week of specific preparation before we get to the actual objective. But on the actual objective, we won't be able to get a single week action. Is Tirreno that important? Is that big of a deal? I don't know, man. I kind of care more about. Honestly, what I need is this. Wait. So, I've got fitness peak level 1. 3 consecutive targets I can do. Chat, why am I not able to get 3 consecutive targets of target A objective? Oh, wait a second. Is it because I had 2 target A objectives at the end of the year? Yes. That is not what I wanted to do at all. So, I can do this. And I can do this. There we go. I think I figured it out. I've got best form from Omloop to Tirreno. I'm still okay with Dene. By the time we get to RVV, I'm doomed. But my first time, my last block of the season looked pretty good then, no? I think this is it. I think we've cooked, chat. We've cooked. I may be exaggerating, but I feel good about it. Anyway. So, it's time then. It's time for our first race. I don't know my name 123 in the chat says, hey Benji, I've got the Zwift ride. Can I use the join app without a heart rate monitor? Ooh. I think yes. I genuinely don't know. If possible, send that question to me on my Instagram messages and I'll ask join. And I'll get back to you. Because I've never tried it, so I really can't tell you. Okay. Briefing. Trofeo Calvia has got Roger Adria as the favorite. I guessed it. Told you so. Clément Champoussin as second favorite. We've got... Nah. We're not on the list. We're washed. Teddy Pikachu is either washed or underrated. That's how I see it. My man is underrated. We've got Anton Charmich, Thomas Glow, Lander Lok. So pretty strong team around. And also, Senna Man is a proper talent. So that's a really good rider to have in the team. Let's jump into our race. Theodore in chat asks, will you do a Tour de France route reaction? Yes, we will on the Lantern Rouge Cycling podcast. It will release on Friday, our reaction, I think. Because I'm wondering. I'm not sure. I was going to say, maybe ASO would allow me to live stream my reaction to the Tour de France route presentation, but I don't think they will. I don't think they're that kind of company. I don't think they realize they would get extra eyes watching. You are very right, Delaby in chat. We are underrated because our hill stat is shit. 70 hill. But I think our other stats will make up for that on this parkour. Especially because there's no, like, hill close to the finish, you know? It's not like it's finishing on the Mur de Huy. Teammate. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. I was expecting to be leader, okay? Thomas Glock is the leader, okay. Ooh, that shit looks good. Look at our jersey. Japanese NC jersey. I like it. I like it. It might genuinely be the default jersey in the game, but I like it. Let's get our boy to the front. Let's pause because I actually forgot to read the race strategy. Work at the head of the group for 20 kilometers with at least one teammate in the group. Oh, don't accidentally kill the race. Let's get our boy to the front, then let's do some work later on in the race. But after my work is done, I do feel like I want to try and compete for the race myself. But for now, let's gradually move to the front and get this party started. Repio asks, when is it question mark? That's about the Tour de France route presentation. The live stream should be, well, not my live stream, but the route presentation live stream is on Thursday. I was invited to it 2 years ago. Never been invited since. Devastating. To be honest, I literally had to like pay my travels and so forth myself, so it really was not worth it to go. Like a lot of the value there is from networking within the sport with people from teams and from races, but if I want to network, I'll use Twitter. Peter asks, what do you think some of the best races this year were? Ooh, some highlights of the cycling season. The Giro was a good race. Like, it's definitely the best Grand Tour. When it comes to the classics, Roubaix was a bit disappointing. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, Pogacar on the cobbles. I have the feeling of, okay, Pogacar crashed. Pedersen punctured out. I think even Bissiger punctured out of that breakaway. So the majority of the competition punctured out of the race or crashed out of the race. I do think Van der Poel would have won that race either way, but I'd rather see a fight until the end, you know, like Paris-Roubaix 2016 is always something that came up in my head. Luca in chat says it. Milano-Sanremo was definitely the best monument. And the best classic in general. I really enjoyed that. Action from Cipressa to the final. Yes, the race was in the same situation for a bit between the Cipressa and the Poggio, but you expect that to be the case. So, was a really good race. Ryan asked, any long-form interviews planned for this off-season? I don't know yet. Podcast-wise, I don't think so. But I don't know, I'd like to interview some people that are not at the top level of the sport, like where it's like male or female continental riders, to see what the depths of the sport look like, stuff like that. Maybe I'd like to interview a rider from Sparkle Oita. That would be funny. I don't know. I feel like I'm actually more interested in doing stuff like that. Anyway, we've got a teammate working at the front. We might as well join him because we need to work for 20 kilometers. And the earlier we do it, the less the tempo in the peloton will be. So the easier the work will be. And the earlier that we are done with our work. Can we do it at 65 and stay at the front of the group? I think we can. That's perfection. We've got Ramos in our wheel. Unai Ramos. Sirocco for endurance, man. Ooh. Tour of Flanders. Tour of Flanders was also a really good race, actually. You're right. Like, sure. We knew that Pogacar was the favorite, but it's not like it was boring, you know? It was a good race. And let's get ourselves back to the front because we've been kicked off the front by Bora Boy, Hannes Wilksch. These guys are pacing too much. I'll go to 85 because otherwise I can't do my work. We've done 1 kilometer? What? That's less than I expected. Let's try and work as much as possible in the sense, so we're not exactly spending much energy doing so. I think that's the way to go. Can I work on 80 and stay at the front? Yes, I can. 75? Yes. Oh, yeah. We're back off the front. We gotta stay at the front to be able to do our work here. Repilio asks, what are your objectives the next year on YouTube and outside? So, I've got some stuff planned. I already said it kind of at the start of today's live stream that for the next few months, my goal is to ride my bike regularly, make a lot of Zwift videos in the process, and in doing so, getting fitter and winning a Zwift race on a higher level. I've won a couple of Zwift races now. The majority of them are like Mickey Mouse races. We're talking about 4 or 5 riders competing, etc. There's one race that I have not uploaded to YouTube yet. It's on my Instagram though, that I won a sprint in. That was more than 4 or 5 riders and an actual competitive race. An actual competitive sprint. That was something I'm really proud of. But we've got an event coming up. This is kind of hashtag ad because that event is also paying me to promote their event, the Virtuslow 400 and Zwift League. Just like the last 2 years, I'll be competing in that once again. And I want to do really well in that because the first year I was doing not that great in that. We've got 2 kilometers to work more here, by the way. But the first year, 2 years ago, I wasn't as good on the bike as I am now, obviously. So as a consequence, I rage quit one of my first hard mountain races because I was like, I'm done. I can't do this. But I gradually got better as that racing series went on to the point that by the end of that first league, the first year, I was getting mid-pack results. And then the second year, last year, I started getting better and better on the bike. And which was probably my best Zwift race ever. I got 4th in a really competitive race on a relatively higher level than I'm used to. And that result, regardless of the victories I've had in Zwift races, is still my favorite result. I've done the work, but I think I should do a little bit more to get the extra bonus into the descent, and then we can start recovering. But I was saying that my next goal is, I don't know if it's realistic, but I'd like to compete for the victory in one of those races. And getting 4th last year was kind of competing for the victory, but I want to do that again and maybe win one. Or any race like that is competitive. I want to win on Zwift. It's ambitious. I'm not sure it's possible. Next to that, I want to do another sportive like the Paris-Roubaix sportive next year. So that's another on the bike goal. But when it comes to YouTube, so I think I explained this in one of my previous live streams, but the way I currently work is that obviously YouTube is now my job. That consists of the podcasts, and I've got income from the podcast, but also income from this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel has multiple types of videos. Pro Cycling Manager is one type of content I make. The reality is, I lose money when I make Pro Cycling Manager videos. I'm dead serious. I literally pay more for the editing than I earn with those videos. Because at the end of the day, there's not that many businesses and brands that want to promote their products and services on a Pro Cycling Manager gaming video. While the Zwift videos are better, first of all, for my fitness, but also for my income. And I would say that my cycling, indoor and outdoor cycling videos on this YouTube channel are my biggest income form. So that's an important part of me being able to do this YouTube as a job. Now, obviously, I'm still doing Pro Cycling Manager videos despite losing money on them because I enjoy doing them and I know you love watching them. So I'm happily taking a loss on that. Nonetheless, I think I want to continue Pro Cycling Manager next year. That's one thing. I want to do some more one-off videos, so not just series like career mode, but also like, you know that one video I made this year where I put Pogacar on the worst team and then made a whole video about that, how we do at the worst team, locked up. That kind of video I really enjoyed making. It took a lot of effort, but I think I want to do some more of that as well, you know? And next to that, I would say that I want to do more cycling videos in general for the sake of making videos on the bike forces me to ride my bike more. And the less I make those videos, the shitter my fitness is. So I want to force myself to ride my bike more by making more cycling videos. Does this make any sense, chat? Because I'm yapping a lot, but I don't know whether whether this is remotely interesting. And also in the meanwhile, Pikachu is actually suffering on these climbs. So gotta make sure I recover in these descents, because otherwise my bro is not gonna feel too good at the end of this race. And if you're talking numbers, if you're talking my number objectives on YouTube, I think I've got about 31.5K subscribers right now on YouTube. If I have to put a number out there, I'm hunting for 50K, if I'm honest about that. I don't know if that's realistic by the end of 2026 though, but I want to try my best to do that. And next to that, I want to grow my Instagram. Not because I love doing Instagram stuff. I'm indifferent about it. But I've noticed that Zwift content does really well on Instagram, and I can get more people through those Zwift reels, Instagram reels about Zwift, to come to this YouTube channel and enjoy long form videos on here. So 41 kilometers to go. We've recovered in this descent, which is a good thing because my bro was not looking too good. And we have no breakaway left, so it's all about surviving the next 4 hills and making it towards the final sprint and trying to sprint to a top 5 position. I know Thomas Glow keeps yapping at me here on the screen. I don't care about the man. Sebastiano says, I like the idea of brute forcing your way to fitness through making content. Yeah, I'm kind of in a lucky position that I can do that, because I feel like a lot of people say, oh, when you're like, I've been overweight for a lot of my life. I'm still overweight, I would say. I still want to do something about it. I still want to keep losing weight. The last few months have been a bit meh because I was focusing on Tour de France, Vuelta, stuff like that, and neglected my training a little bit. So that's why I want to hardcore brute force it. But I think a lot of people just don't necessarily have the time to make time for looking after themselves in terms of fitness. And it's easy to say, just make time. But if you're a single mother and have to make time in your evening to do exercising, good luck. So I'd like to believe I'm in a very fortunate and privileged position that I can afford to make time to exercise and that I shouldn't take that lightly. Does that make any sense? Rapio says, love it, love the mentality. Meanwhile, Pikachu's trying to survive, and he's doing so quite well, actually. Maybe I'm spending a bit too much energy staying at the front, though. Thanks for providing us with PCM. If you want to do more fitness-related YouTube, go for it. And chase that win a lot. Yeah, I want to chase that win. And also, just full transparency, I've spent the last week also talking to other brands to potentially be partners for my YouTube channel so that I can maybe find a way to have sponsors on PCM content. I want to make it very clear, I will never accept a sponsor that I do not believe fits the content and would change my content. So for example, a PCM career mode, I don't think I'd ever shove a sponsor in it that is more than a 45-second cycling related thing or gaming related. Or something that I think has a twist that I would use. I will never promote a product that I don't consider myself using and that I have not tested. So for example, Sirocco is a sponsor on a lot of my Instagram stuff, but also on, well, Sirocco for Endurance Career Mode. But by the way, Pikachu's holding on quite well, but then again, there's a peloton of 110 people, so I'm not surprised. I'm just holding on for dear life here. Can I find Adria? Where is Ruger Adria? Morgado, Pinarello. That's a bike brand, but also a cyclist. There's Adria. I'm just going to get into Ruger Adria's wheel when we can and sprint from that wheel. That's my game plan. I just hope that attackers don't win here because I don't have the... Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Help! Someone pace? 17 riders off the front? I know my teammates up there, and I'm being selfish asking someone to pace, but in an ideal world, I would have been in that group. Ay, 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 ay. Oi, oi, oi. Theodore asks, do you think Poggi will ever win the Hell of the North? I think it's realistic for Tadej Pogacar to win Paris-Roubaix. He was already the second best rider the first time he did it, so it's very possible. Van der Poel is a better rider for the parkour, but if Pogacar focuses on it, he can win Paris-Roubaix. 10 kilometers to go. I think we're doomed. I think this gap is never getting closed. I'm going to try and move up, though. Can I bridge towards them? I think I can. Let's do it right now. Pikachu on the right side of the road. There comes the attack. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah! No, 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 no. The gap is still there. Oh. Ay, 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 ay. We didn't make it. I can't believe we did not make it. Maybe now? Maybe now? 25 seconds? Come on, come on, come on. Pika! Get to the wheel! No. No. Teddy! Oh, at this point, I'm basically just helping people come back and catch my boy. Oh? Nah, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's completely over. It's Teddy over. I don't know who's going to win. I can't see the front of the race, but it certainly is not going to be Teddy Pikachu. Teddy's going to sprint, but the winner is going to be Aramburu? Morgado? I'm saying Morgado. Let's take a look. Ooh! Morgado. There we go. That was a bit of an anticlimactic race for me. That was not our best race ever. We did our work for the team, but we're finishing roughly in the top 25, it seems, which I wish we were in that front group. Then we could have been competitive, but... Delaby in the chat says, the arrow! Yeah, I should have activated it. I forgot. I'll be honest, I completely forgot we had that. But we lost that on tactics. And on not reacting. My excuse is that I had full confidence in Thomas Gloag, so I decided to let him go up the road for the team, but that's bullshit. Come on, let's get this race over with. I don't want to stare at this madness any longer. Okay. I do not want to look at the podium. Oh, wrong screen. Glow got 10th. We got 23rd. We get exceptional evaluation of work. And our manager is happy about the race classification of our best teammate. So I guess it's something. It's not that much XP, but it's something. No updates when it comes to race schedules. So let's take a look at our training now. Luca in the chat says, can you put the red target after the orange target in the fitness peak? I don't know. Let's try. No, you can only combine target A with target A and target B with target B. Lesson learned. I think I will do it this way, by the way. I think I will use target A for Omloop and Tirreno. I know it's not great for our training, but I think that's the way to go. BMOZ COD. That's a name, my friend. Have you tried the new beta that supposedly stops making it so easy to win stages like Milano Sanremo with hills right before the sprint? I have not. Ooh, 60 XP. I'm digging that. I'm very much digging that. On the left bottom, my rider is over the moon. Whew. My man. After a race where you got 23rd. Crazy. It's a bit over-enthusiastic. Orlando asks, how do you get the extra actions? What do you mean the extra actions? I generally don't know what you mean. Just ask and then we'll see. Then we'll get the experts in chat to give you an answer because I'm not the expert. Étoile de Bessèges. I like the stage race. The first 3 stages really don't fit us. We've got stage 1, which is mostly flat with a 1 kilometer uphill climb at the finish. Then the next 2 are sprint stages. Stage 4 is where it's at when it comes to the climbing. This is where I do want to try and compete. and a time trial on the final day, which we are not necessarily good at yet. Competition-wise, La Pera, Leo Bizio, that's a talented guy. What else am I seeing? Darling, ooh, Sivakov, Voss, Ineos with a good team for this race. Fagundes can climb. Pavel Novak, talented rider on Sudal Quickstep, not in real life. On real life, he is going to Movistar, I think. He won a stage at the Baby Giro. Who else is here? I think that's about it. I might have skipped over a name accidentally, but I see it's a race where on paper we should be able to compete for something on the Montbouquet stage, but I don't think we'll compete for much on the flat stages here. So I'll do my work and get it over with, I think. We've got Marijn van den Berg as the favorite. Why does my team not send a sprinter to this race? Come on, guys. Do they think I'm going to do all the work here? Delaby says you still need to put in some of your weekly action. Do I? Okay. My bad. I'll check it out in a second. You've got carte blanche, so free element. We might as well go in the breakaway and try and win KOM in this race, no? Which is going to be hard because there's not many KOM points available outside of the Montbouquet stage, which means that we need to do well on the Montbouquet stage. But we might as well try and just get some points on stage 1, no? Can I get in the breakaway? Got a bunch of riders already pacing, so doesn't inspire the possibility of going in the breakaway at the moment. I don't think that's happening. Oh, tempo's gone. Let's see if I can attack away right now. Come on, Pika. Pika, Pika. Come on. Pikachu. There we go. That was so cringe. And we've got reaction from the peloton, but if I go fast enough, they won't be able to catch me. So arrow mode into the breakaway. Why not? Yeah, and the reality is it's going to be a sprinter winning this race, I think. Regardless of there being a climb in the last kilometer. But let's do it on time score and get to the front here. Catching up with the boys. Repio says you can win this stage. I don't believe so, buddy. I don't believe so. I'll try. Kopetsky's in this race. He can win this race for us. I'm not even getting to the breakaway. My dude's gonna go at a yellow bar. This is so anticlimactic. I generally have to wait on the peloton. I will shas patat. I can't believe this. How are we unable to catch the breakaway? Okay. Is nothing gonna go well today? Let's go back to the peloton. Mission failed. We'll get in next time. And we've been caught by the peloton and we'll sit up, okay? Ay. Shame. Shame. Shas patat by Teddy Pikachu. Let's do times 8 and just get it over with. Yeah, that was so sad. Can't believe it. Let's move backwards a bit in the peloton to not be in the wind this much. Why does Pikachu not listen to me? Move back, buddy. Pikachu, I'm telling you to move back in the peloton and you remain in P10. My man's not listening to me. Now he's arrived. He's where I need him to be. Okay. So, and actually about my on-bike experience, I've been doing I shouldn't spoil it. I shouldn't spoil the next video. I'll shut up. I'm looking forward to releasing the Zwift videos though, because those take a lot more time than a Pro Cycling Managed video to make. But the next Sirocco will drop on Sunday, by the way. So today obviously is the live stream day for Teddy Pikachu. Friday I'm trying to release the the Zwift video. I'll see whether that's possible to release it by then. Friday is in 2 days, yes? And then Sirocco will drop on Sunday. Sirocco will be at least 1 per week. But I kind of want to get to 2 per week soon. But I can't promise because, yeah. But I'd like to do it though, because I think it's feasible. And I just want to get on with it with the career mode, you know, because I'm having a lot of fun with the career mode. But we have not progressed much in the second season because it's been a standstill during La Vuelta. So Orlando, these buttons at the top, sneaking and aerodynamic positioning, is only available in Pro Cyclist mode. And you can unlock them in the skill tree in Pro Cyclist mode, which will allow you to use them. That's how that works. Last 40 kilometers, the break that did not allow me in is about to get caught. So take the L, losers. But by the way, I feel like a lot of you are loving the Pro Cycling Manager multi videos with Joe Emery and Lucas in one of them as well. That is something we'll definitely do next year. I don't want to spoil all the intricacies of next year, but I would like to... So the system would be that Joe would upload the monuments, the PCM multiplayer monuments with us, with Emery and me, and Lucas in a couple of them maybe. And I would do the Grand Tours like I did the Giro. Because I think we noticed that for Joe it wasn't as feasible to also do the Grand Tours. Because we didn't get the Tour de France one out and we never even started the Vuelta one. But I really enjoyed making the Giro videos. I think they were, honestly, like, there's videos on my YouTube channel that I'm super proud of. And that's like the Paris-Roubaix Sportif video. I spent so much time and work and money on that to make that work, that I'm really happy with the outcome. Really happy with that moment in my life of finishing my first massive Sportif like that. But the Giro multi videos, probably some of my favorite videos I've edited and made in 2025. For the reason that just friends hanging out, having fun, you know, but also the storyline of how the eventual winner, if you haven't seen it, won't spoil it, ended up winning. I enjoyed watching that. I don't often rewatch my own videos because it's a bit weird, but those multi videos, I may or may not have checked them back a couple times. Theodore asked, could you do multiplayer videos with viewers? I don't think I'll do multiplayer videos with viewers, but I do think I should do multiplayer live streams with viewers. I think that would be fun. So like an open lobby live stream where in an ideal world, there's so much content I want to make. There's so much content. Like, there's so many ideas that pop into my head from, like, I did that Lombardia video a couple weeks ago where I went through every single Pro Cycling Manager that had no World Championships. I'm sorry. I went to every single Pro Cycling Manager where the World Championships were present, and I played through each year on the Pro Cycling Manager of that year. That was really fun. What if I could do that for every monument next year? It's going to be so much work, but it's a cool idea, I think. Other ideas. I had this series back in the day. Some of you might remember The Chase. It's not the UK television show The Chase, but I'm talking about a series I had where you as a viewer could make a fantasy team for the Tour de France, like a Velo Games, for example. But instead of the riders in the real Tour de France scoring points for you, I would play through the race on Pro Cycling Manager as a spectator, not as a player, not controlling a team. And depending on the results of your riders in those races, you could earn points. That sounds like an awesome idea to redo. The reality is, I did that when I had 500 subscribers. Doing that now, I would have to do points calculations for, I don't know, I'd like to believe that I'd have a couple thousand people sign up. And that is terrifying. Maybe if I can find a way to get a group of people in the community that want to help me do that and find a way to reward them in a certain way, because I don't want people to do literal slavery on my part, then I think that's nice. Jameson in chat asks, a King of the Hill concept like failure. I don't want to blatantly copy that idea, you know? I think, and it's partially because I like to be a part of the content too. If I just have two of my viewers racing against each other and me looking at it, I don't know, it's fun for those two viewers, but I don't think the majority of viewers are invested in that then. I think they're way more invested if each viewer can have a fantasy league team. We're in the last 3 kilometers, by the way. I'm looking shit at the moment. I forgot my energy gel. I don't know why I'm trying to sprint, because at the end of the day, I'm not a good sprinter here. I'm in the wheel of Liam van Bijlen, solid sprinter on Lotto. We're moving forward quite well. Can I get into the wheel of Tarling instead, who supposedly is a sprinter for Ineos today? 1.6 kilometers to go. I'm going to try and launch right now on the right. There we go. Launch early. Onto the climb. Come on, Pikachu. And I'm done for. It's going to be a top 20. Okay. That was interesting. So far, results in this video are 23rd at the Trofeo Calvia and 13th at the first stage of Bessèges, but we can't expect more than that on a stage like this, so it's not the end of the world. But I was saying, well, what I also want to do is, I want to do a, remember the video I did before the Giro, where I played through the entire Giro in one video? I think that was great content. I don't know about you, but I loved making that video. Was it worth it to spend so much time for a single video? Probably not, but I enjoyed it. And that's the most important part about me making videos. I don't give a fuck if I lose money on the video. If I pay 3 times the editing costs versus the amount of money I make from it, I can afford to lose money on that video and have fun doing it. Is that a weird thing to say? Fredheim won, I'm happy for him, but I don't really care. 13th, okay. That's an okay start. I want to do that Giro full Grand Tour in one video in the Tour de France, in the Vuelta, for every Grand Tour. I want to do a video playing through every single monument of the year, maybe individually. I want to do a video doing on Zwift a blind FTP test. To be clear, I had that idea before Lucas came out and said he wanted to do a blind Zwift race video. If you have not seen that, Lucas Place on his YouTube channel had a video with me. So we collaborated on a video where he rode a Zwift race blind, and I was basically the guide. So I was telling him, you got to speed up, you got to slow down, you're in the group, these guys are attacking, and he had to react. Check it out. It's worth watching. But stage 2 is more of a sprint stage, so a stage that fits us even less. Arvid de Klein is the favorite, and I have no clue what the team expects from me on this, so I guess we're about to find out. __ says, when are you becoming a DS for an exclusively blindfolded Conti team? Like Novo Nordisk only for type 1 diabetics? That's an insane question to ask, by the way. Just putting that out there. I don't think I'm becoming a DS for an exclusively blindfolded Conti team, I'm afraid. I do want to do more collaborations on YouTube. I'm looking to collaborate with Ryan Condon on a video on Zwift. With a guy called The What's Life on YouTube as well for Zwift videos. I'm looking to collaborate with a Counter-Strike. How would I classify him? A Counter-Strike presenter and analyst, ex-esports player that is now an Ironman. If you know, you know. So there's some weird stuff happening. I would also like to collaborate with some people that aren't necessarily into cycling as much as we are, but are interested in the sport. At some point, there's an average drop collaboration coming. He just doesn't know it yet. He just does not know it yet. Yeah. Pimp. He's a good guy. 4 guys off the front. Rapio in chat, it says, other channels, question mark, would you do that other games? Mate, the amount of times in the last couple of weeks that I've wanted to start a second YouTube channel to first play Minecraft, but now I'm in a phase where I'm playing Crusader Kings 3. Especially the Lord of the Rings mod, where I'm basically doing a Lord of the Rings strategy game, and I'm absolutely getting destroyed by Sauron, so I don't want to talk about it right now. But the amount of times I was like, oh, I should make a live stream about this, and then realized that maybe 5 people watching the live stream here would enjoy seeing that, I was like, probably not. But I'd love to do that, but like I just told you, there's a billion things I want to do on this channel, to the point that I think I should focus my time on this content and doing this as well as possible. I know there's a lot of hype about Football Manager. I know quite a bit of you would be interested in me playing Football Manager. I played Football Manager back in the day. I also played... Was it FIFA Manager? Before Football Manager back in the day? Those were... I don't know, like... But I left the sport of football when I stopped playing football as a kid. So... my football days are AC Milan, Andrei Shevchenko, Filippo Inzaghi, at Juventus Del Piero. That's my era of loving the sport when I was a kid, basically. Fuck, I'm getting old. 27, almost 28, 23rd of November. I'm expecting gifts from every single one of you. Every single one of you. My address is... No, I want to. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, we're gonna times 8 this shit. I'm sorry, but it's a flat sprint stage and my guy can't sprint. I think, I don't know. What if I could make a video where I get Zealand, the guy that makes Football Manager videos, to play Pro Cycling Manager? I think that would be funny. I swear he's made a video on Tennis Manager. He's discriminating the cycling fans. Just putting that out there. Zealand, if you ever watch this, get on Pro Cycling Manager, bro. Don't leave us behind. Chat says, attack on the final climb. Keon in chat, but... I'm sorry, but I don't think it's possible. I think the peloton will be hard pacing on the climb, and I don't think I'll be able to get away. It's so close to the finish line. I don't think it's possible. I think it's rolling over the line, taking XP, and that's what we do on these kind of stages. Raj, I agree with you. Zealand playing PCM with me as a coach would be content. Especially because I'm not even that good at PCM. I'd like to think I am, but I lose in so many stupid ways sometimes. Yeah, VP, I think Zealand would be interested in doing something like that. But I think I don't have a way of contacting him. So, yeah, I don't know. I would not have a clue on how to contact him. And I'd pay him to do it. I'd literally pay him to be in a video of PCM. Can't afford to pay him that much because I said it already. I'm losing money on PCM videos. But Thomas says create your own Zwift racing team. So basically, back in the day in 2023, I did a series where I was a DS of a Zwift Racing League team, which was really fun to make together with Zwift. They really helped with collaborating there. Carl says contact him on Strava. I don't think Zealand will respond on Strava, mate. Now, but on a serious note, that Zwift Racing League series, I loved making that. The only downside is if I make a Zwift Racing team and make videos about that, then I am dependent on other people to make those videos. And that's risky for me when I'm making content, especially when I promise certain videos to be made to sponsors. So for example, Zwift pays me to make X amount of videos promoting their products. Same with For Endurance, same with Sirocco. If I don't deliver a video because someone can't make it to a race, then I'm in trouble financially. Then I'm not getting paid. And then the company probably isn't too happy with me either. So that's the, I guess it's the restriction of being paid to make certain videos. But on the other hand, it's what allows me to live and have this as a job. So I shouldn't complain about that either. Let's try and get in the wheel of Killich maybe, because that lead out was really good in the last stage. But I can't get into the wheel because there's a KOM point. Oh, can I use that to my advantage? No, I can't. I don't think I'll get away. I'm having trouble coming to the front. If I can come to the front, I'll try to attack, but I don't believe it's possible. Come on, come on, come on. Move up, move up, move up. 86, 86. And there comes the lead out of Alpecin right now. Can I follow anyone's wheel? I don't think I can. Let's do 88. 80, 85 again. 2.9 kilometers. I need to get in the wheel of someone. I will only be able to do that over the top here across the line. Can I get in the wheel of Mathis Grisel right now after this line? Yes, I can. Energy Gel again, way too late. Oh, come on. Get me to the front, get me to the front. Let's launch early. There goes Pikachu. Top 10, top 10, top 10, top 10. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, that's a top 10, boys. That's a top 10. That is lovely. That is 7th place. Tadao in the chat says, would you ever start your own Conti team with S-Colp sponsor? S-Colp sponsor. S-Colp with a collab sponsor. Ah, sorry. I really had no clue what you meant at first. I don't know. I'd like to believe that if I have the financial possibilities and the connections to create a continental team, that it would be fun, but I feel like it's done already. I feel like that's what the Rockets did. So I don't feel like copying that idea either. I think there's other cool stuff I can do, especially for the time being. Let's take a look to our boy. Look at him. 7th place in the sprint stage. That's lovely. But let's go on to the next one. Did you see the announcement for the Vertislow series? Can't wait to race you. I've seen the announcement. I'm making an ad for it, quite literally, tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it a lot. I'm trying to get fit for it. That's why I'm doing all the cycling in the last couple of weeks, to be as best as possible in that Vertislow series. And I'll make videos about it. So can't wait to race you either, my friend. Good evening, Kiergaard. Welcome to the chat. We are on to stage 3 of Bessèges. Once again, a sprint stage. We just got a top 10 in the sprint stage, so let's try and do that again. My throat is going to hurt tonight from all the yapping, that's for sure. Denny in chat says he's streaming right now, Zealand, so we could all go to his stream. Please don't. Don't leave me behind alone. Theodore asks, what do you think about the future of Florian Lipovic? Oh, by the way, I want to do a collab with Henry Ulich as well, Alpecin rider. He plays PCM. I want to make a video, Pro Cyclist plays Pro Cycling Manager 25. So we agreed on doing it. He then asked for a date, and then I forgot to answer. So it's on me that it hasn't happened yet. And I apologize to both you and him for that. What do you think about the future of Florian Lipovic was the question. Do we need to do anything in this stage? Nope. It's simple. Lipovic, he podiumed am I insane? He podiumed the Tour de France, right? Yes, he got third, right? Yes. Oi, oi, oi. My brain just melted. Expectations is try to podium every Grand Tour he competes in. And I believe that he's got the capabilities of winning a Giro. Do I believe he can win the Tour de France or Vuelta? Not really. So that's kind of my thoughts on Lipovic. Think he's a good rider. It's difficult though, because like Roglic being there, Remco moving to the team, Lorenzo Finn growing up in that team as well. They're going to have a lot of chefs in the kitchen. Which that's going to be a bit difficult to manage, I would say. And people management has been a problem at that team in the past. Let's not forget. You can see it in the races this year already. Like if we look at the opening weekend, for example, the fact that Meus is a domestique on Omloop het Nieuwsblad, but no, yes, on Omloop het Nieuwsblad is crazy to me. So that's just that is people management interfering with the realistic expectations and strategy that should be playing out in the first place. Because they signed so many classics riders in 2025, they had to give Van Dijke, Piffy, Meus, all these riders the freedom in those races to be leader, or at least a free element rider like Pikachu in this fucking sprint stage. And as a consequence, Meus took the short end of the stick in that race, and he never should. He was the favorite of the team. And then on the other hand, a question in the chat, does Roglic winning the Andorra Classic mean he will win all the Grand Tours next season? Nah, I'm sorry. That ain't fucking irrelevant. I shouldn't curse that much. An irrelevant crit in Andorra doesn't influence my mind at all. I do think that Roglic is not the top 2 GC rider in that team in terms of expectations for next year. And seemingly he's accepted that fate. It's about Lipovic and Remco now. Or Remco and Lipovic. Depends on how you look at it. Because Remco was pretty good at the one-day races this year. Except LBL. What are my thoughts on Remco Evenepoel? Just in general, the same thoughts as I have with Lipovic. They're both really good riders. Combining them can work out in a Grand Tour. But I'm not sure. I believe Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe in the next year already can bring Remco Evenepoel to a higher level in the first year. I think it's a project. And there's a lot of small things like, I don't know if you know this, but Sven van Turnhout, the coach of the Belgian national team in the past, he left that national team. It was taken over by Serge Pauwels, the secondary coach. And then he spent an entire offseason bragging in Belgian media about all the teams that were interested in having him as a manager. I'm sorry, but Sven van Turnhout, I don't want to criticize him too much, but coach of the national team of Belgium, he fucked up Leuven completely. And after that, yes, Remco Evenepoel won lots of world championships and Olympics, but that's because Remco Evenepoel is such a good rider, not because of some magical team coherence and strategy. So Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe then ends up signing Sven van Turnhout. Sven van Turnhout then goes on Belgian media saying that he's becoming the sportive manager of the team. He then doesn't become the sportive manager of the team. He then just becomes a DS, which no criticism to him for that. I'm happy that he's found the role, but that shows that there's some miscommunication somewhere here. If you think you're becoming a sportive manager and then you become a DS, and what's going on here? Like, if that is how the team is run, then I feel like a lot of people got replaced in the management. And sure, there might have been issues with the people that were running the team, like Rolf Aldag, etc. Because let's be honest about it, what happened in the final week of the Tour de France with Roglic and Lipovic strategies, inexplainable. Not good strategies from the DSs. But on the other hand, I think there's also a problem bigger. I think Ralf Denk is also not necessarily the best person running that team. I could be wrong, but that's how I view it at the moment. Kian asks, where are you from? I'm from Belgium originally. I now live in the UK because my wife is British. We've got 80 kilometers to go in the flats there. I don't know why I'm not doing times 8 in this race because I ain't doing shit in this stage. Except finishing top 10, of course. That's what you're here for. I'm a little bit scared of the next stage. Montbouquet, that's the defining queen stage of this race. That's where I want to do my best and get the best possible results. Wait a second. Chat. I just got a text from my dad that there's a storm coming to Europe and that they decided to call it Benjamin. After me. Can't believe it. I'm going to shake up Europe next week. That's such a weird thing to say. Break is already caught. There's a one dude that is attacking. His name is Lau Larsen. Sorry, buddy, but that ain't going anywhere. Flanders Kian, from West Flanders. So I speak West Flemish. Which means basically nobody outside of West Flanders knows what I say when I speak that. 25 kilometers to go. Thomas Glock, shut up. Nobody cares about you. Into the final stretch here. And we're going to try and get a wheel now because there's no KOM point here. Which means that I should be able to follow a wheel already. I think Kilik is a nice wheel to follow. X is now winning the sprint for the positioning. But I'm in the wheel of Kilik, so I'm okay with that. I'll try and launch my energy gel at the right time this time. Because I've not done it at the right time at all in the last couple of stages. By the way, I saw a lot of people in the chat saying that they enjoy playing Crusader Kings. If I knew that, I'd be streaming it all day. I've been so invested in that game recently. 10 kilometers to go. Let's keep moving. A lot of riders for Alpecin, so they should be all right. But they are losing it. Oh, crash in the peloton. Adrien Boissy is down for Saint-Michel. Lots of other riders. But the peloton is still intact. I feel like we're too far from the back right now. So Alpecin, gotta move up, buddy. Five and a half kilometers to go. Move up, guys, move up. Energy gel, let's do it right now at 5.2, 5.1. We're spending red bar already, bruh. Just following Kilik. I'm burning through my red just following Kilik. And Kilik is so far behind his lead out as well. This is far from perfect. Now we're moving up. 2 kilometers to go. Gonna try and stay in the wheel as long as possible. That lead out of Alpecin bottled it completely. Last kilometer. I don't have red to launch, so I might as well just finish in this space. I'm gonna be top 20. It's a gap right here, actually. Hopefully there's a gap behind me as well. I don't think there will be. We're gonna finish maybe top 15, I think. But not much more than that, I fear. There we go. Cross the line. Ouch. Okay. Let's get cooking. Let's take a look at the results page. We've got 15th place in this stage. Top 15, that's okay. We're 9th in GC, but there's no gaps. So actually there is. after P46, but I assume that most of the GC riders for this race are within that range. Am I wrong? Simon Carr lost some time in GC. Fagundes lost some time. Bizio as well. So quite a few riders on maybe like 12. Ooh, on 30 seconds of me. I don't know when they lost that time. Not on this stage. Maybe stage 1? Voiting in chat says Merritt is on 67th place. Please tell me this is not a 6-7 joke or anything like that. I'm not having that brain rot nonsense, guys. I'm a boomer now. I'm 27. Chris K in chat says Sarkozy is in jail. I know. That's why it's crazy that Lapartien, the president of the UCI, starts posting friendly tweets about him on the day that he goes to jail. Shocking behavior. Actually, like, genuinely should resign. But that was already the case. I don't like him at all. Nobody likes him in this sport, I would say. Training-wise. Oh, you're right. I forgot to do specific actions, and am I too late? I am too late. I got a full week of no actions. I'm stupid. Mistakes were made. My bad. I'm going to get stage races training in as much as I can in this week. That was not how I planned it. That's a big L. I'm taking the L, guys. I'm taking the L. I fucked it. But we are now moving towards the most important stage. Oh, you can see it. Basically, this is the problem. The camera was over the top of it, but for this week, I accidentally don't have week's actions. Like Chad pointed out about 30 minutes ago. But, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it now. So I adapted it for the next couple of specific preparation weeks, so it should be fine now. I should also have my mental reserves thing here, social life, whatever it's called, before we continue on the normal training procedure. On to the next stage. Tadao asks, do you know why my pro is not a leader in races like Valenciana? I've won the Tour de France, MSR, and I'm a best climber on Movistar. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how it works, okay? I didn't make the game. But oh, no, I'm not gonna be leader either on Mont Bouquet, because Glog and Mare are better climbers in terms of their hill stat. Actually, it's medium mountain stat, which I'm a pretty good medium mountain rider. 77, guys. What is this game thinking? What is it doing to me? I want to be leader on this stage. I'm sorry. Got nothing more to say. But I assume I'm going to have to work at the front of the peloton for 25 kilometers is my guess. Actually, we got to go in the break. I'm not going in the breakaway. I'm sorry. Nah, I'm not having that shit. I know it's not a good idea to not follow what my team is saying here, but I should not go in the break, right, chat? Going in the break would be such a bad idea. They wouldn't let me in the breakaway. I'm such a danger, you know? And I can't even get to the front of the peloton, so break definitely won't work. And it's also not just going the break for 40 kilometers. It's 45 kilometers in the last 90 kilometers of the stage. So it's such a waste of energy. I'm going to try and sit up right here and just save my energy all stage. Chat says you should go breakaway. I don't want to go in the breakaway. Leave me be. I just want to go on the final climb and just have fun in the peloton, guys. Because if I'm going the break, I'll spend so much energy that I just won't be as good on the final climb, you know? I want to spend all my energy on the final climb. Intermediate sprint in this race also don't give bonus seconds, so that's good to know. It's going to be a hard stage to win, though. 77 medium mountain, though. We can cook. Who does UnoX have here? Fredheim. I'm sorry, Fredheim, but I'm not feeling that. I don't see how Fredheim's going to be the guy on this climb. It can't be this Nordsauter guy. Roussel. Nah, I don't think either of them will be. Chris K says, please go at top 5 position into the climb. I think we have to be in the best possible position because it's such a short climb, you know? We're not talking about an Alpe d'Huez. Well, Alpe d'Huez is not the longest climb either. We're not talking about a Col de la Loze where we've got 27 kilometers where we can start at the front, then gradually drop back and then pass people gradually. That strategy doesn't work on this kind of climb. We have to go good position and stay at the front as long as possible. And if necessary, burn my rider trying to fight for position. Because if we can't stay in position, we can't win anyway, you know? Thomas in chat asks, is Unibet Rockets riding Rosa bikes next year? In real life, yes. In the game, no clue. Vid asks why you don't have a better position in team yet so you can manage teammates. I don't know. I think there's too many good riders in my team. Groenewegen, Gloog, Kopetsky. Nah, I should be pretty close to being a top 4, top 3 rider in the team. Maybe it's already possible and I haven't seen it. Nonetheless, I'm going to prove myself if they want me to prove myself. So I've got no issue with that. Let's try and drop it to 75 on the climb to spend as little energy as possible. Now back to 85 in the descent and we're recovering yellow bar nicely. We're going to be full yellow. Lambert Wetzel from our team is getting us some water, so that's good. There we go. What do you think, chat? Podium top 5? What are we doing here? Victory is going to be difficult, but I want to try, you know? It's not... on this difficulty level, I actually think it is impossible, but... Oh, split in the peloton. We're in the front group. Oh, la 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 la. That does not happen often, me making a split. We've got quick step pacing with... For who? For Duarte Marivud? It's an option, but... I don't know what his stats are these days. Chat says win for Pikachu. The rest of the peloton is back. If only my team would like protect me so I have yellow bar once we get to the final climb. I'd appreciate that. Because now I'll have to fight for my position myself before the climb even starts. That's going to cost me so much energy. What is my favorite place to go on holiday? I genuinely don't know, actually. Like, I go to Andorra multiple times a year to do the podcast with Patrick. That's a pretty fun place to be. I went to Mallorca last year with Zwift for Zwift Community Life. That was fun. I enjoyed Mallorca. I think I wouldn't say that I've experienced both of those destinations as holiday. I'm going to Tenerife in December. Spoilers. People that watched the video of mine in Tenerife last year may know what that means. Which is something I need a good fitness level on the bike for. Because there's a big volcano there. And I didn't reach the top last year. And I'd like to do that this year. So I enjoy Tenerife. For me, going on a holiday is not necessarily as much about the destination than the people I'm with. Is that a controversial take? I don't think it is. Yes, Kiergaard. I won't promise it, but that's my goal. Going back to Tenerife to reconquer Teide. Or to conquer it for the first time, because the first time I failed to conquer it is fair to say. I want to drop my effort to 73 because I'm spending a lot of yellow bar at the moment. 7 kilometers to go only, so we can afford to go 85, right? Am I unserious? Did I see what happened to chess player Daniel Naroditsky, I will be honest, I'm not as into the world of chess as I might look, because I know I look very smart, but I heard he passed away, and I saw YouTubers like Penguin Z being very sad about that. This tempo is way too fast for me. I was in the top 5 in the peloton, guys. I promise. NHL, let's do 88. Come on, come on, come on. Team, help me. Help me, please. I'm going 89. Can I keep going? We're in the wheel of Gashinyar. That's not meaningful. This is going to be a group sprint. Oh. I've got nothing. I'm doing 91 into the last 1.7 kilometers. I want to try and move up, but aerodynamic position, I don't know if it does anything on these gradients. 1 kilometer to go. We're just going to roll in over the top. This is so sad. This is so silly. I'm sorry, but this is not how I expected this climb to go. A 1-2-3 for Groupama, or does Sivakov fly past? Maxime de Comble wins ahead of Brouillard and Labrosse. What a weird finish. Sivakov top 3. Oh. We're going to finish in the second part of the peloton, but I guess it means we will probably top 10 GC. But I was hoping for a better result, you know? That's a bit disappointing. I just can't win with 70 Hillstead on this climb. Because this climb was so short and explosive that it started using my Hillstead instead of my medium mountain stat. Especially in the final. So yeah, just to continue, I don't want to gloss over it too quickly. My thoughts are with Daniel's family and his friends, and I don't know much about him, but it's always sad, you know? Are we in the top 10 of GC? 18th on the stage. Woohoo, baby! 5th place in GC. That is what I'm talking about. That is it. That is brilliant. I'm sorry, but this is why I'm here. We are here to finish 18th on Montbouquet, to finish 5th on a mountain on the GC. Oh, I shouldn't be gloating yet. I'm so stupid. There's a time trial to come. We are doomed. We're completely doomed, guys. We've got 67 time trial, and there's a guy behind us with 81 in GC. Logan Curry's also a better time trialist. Will we drop out of top 10? Ooh, that's scary. Tobias Vos, can he take 34 seconds on us? Oh, I shouldn't have celebrated so much. Yes, I know. I was not in the breakaway team. My manager, I know. But I'd like to believe a top 5 in GC was worth that. Maybe not. Maybe. It's a hilly TT though, so that's a possibility. Talling's obviously the favorite. 9.7 kilometer, hilly ending. Ouch. I think we're about to get cooked, chat. I think Teddy Pikachu is realizing that he was cooking the Japanese circuit, but then he went to Europe and realized that we're playing a whole different game here. Étoile de Bessèges. It's like the Tour de France. Finish in the top 3 of the stage? What? That is ridiculous. That is a delusional objective. How do they think I can do this? Oh. I'm not going to finish top 20 here. I'll be happy if I finish top 40. I think we're doomed. Like, sure, there's a little climb at the end, but my hill stat is shit, and my time trial is shit. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. Lots of riders to pass. Gotta say, it is really shit in Pro Cyclist mode that you literally have to wait until all the riders are done to get to your rider, you know? Especially when you're that good in GC, of course, that you're 5th place, then you gotta wait a long time, you know? Yes, check raise the on spacebar menu and rider. Wait, can you see that? What do you mean? On raise day, check raise the on spacebar menu and rider. I am confused. Lambert Weasel is what I call him instead of Wetzel. Lambert Weasel. Oh, so click on hit. Rider? What do you mean click on rider? Click on the name. That's what I'm doing. I don't know what you're talking about, guys. Click on hit. Click your name. I'm clicking on my name. Oh, like that on the left bottom. I'm so stupid. I thought something would happen on the right of my screen, okay? Oh shit, we're starting. Well, that's not a great start. Not realizing that my rider went. Wait, what? Why does it say 2.5 at the right bottom? It's 10 kilometers because it's... Why haven't they not fixed this? That the kilometers on the right bottom are wrong. It confuses me. But it's a 10 kilometer time trial, so I can just do 85, right? 85 and save my energy for the final climb? Is that not the strat? Because it's impossible on a short time trial like this to spend your entire yellow, so the way to do it is to do the entire last climb as hard as possible. Chris K says 99. Yeah, okay. That won't work. Because if I do 99, then my red bar will be gone after 2 kilometers. And when your red bar is empty in a time trial, then your rider stalls for a bit. First time check, I don't expect to be that good. Tarling's already first. He's going to cook me. He's going to absolutely cook me. There we go. I'm going to go... I'm sorry. I had my rider on 85. I scrolled upwards and it went to 71. This game is boycotting me. Like, genuinely. I wanted to get it to 86. It brought it down to 71. I'm getting scammed by Pro Cycling Manager. I don't think this time trial is going to go very well, guys. Wait. We got 36th on a minute. Okay, we're doomed. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. Climb is starting. Let's up it to 90. That's too much, I think. 1.3 kilometers. 88. It's a long climb, but this is the steepest spot, so I want to spend my energy here. 88 is perfect. 87. Oh, spend my energy perfectly. 24th. What do you mean I had to get a top 3 manager? That is impossible here. Maybe if I played it like a bit better, I maybe could get a top 20, but I played it pretty okay here, guys. Like, spending energy on the final climb is the play on this time trial, I think. A minute 27. Okay. That being said, it's Starling who takes a minute on most of the riders. So maybe we're still in the top 10? What do you think, chat? Are we? 3, 2, 1. No. Okay. Okay. That was anticlimactic. We're 11th! No! You can't be serious! No! I wanted to keep my top 10 in GC! 11th is heartbreaking! By 6 seconds, so it's not super close, but I can't believe it. That is devastating. We get 4th in white, whatever that's worth. 6th best team, I guess. It's something. Hey, we are the best GC rider of the team. So at least that establishes with our manager that we should be the leader, right? For this race. For any race now in our team. Glow clearly bottled it. Bro got 18th. That's bad. 11. What do you mean bad? This is literally the best result we could have had. Getting a top 3 was unrealistic. I know. Bastitema, I'm calling you out. I know you're my manager here, but sorry, buddy. Telling me to get a top 3 in a fucking time trial when my time trial stats 68. What are you doing? What are we doing here? Boss. Realistic goals, please. On mon bouquet, I'm a teammate that has to go in the breakaway, but on a time trial, I gotta get top 3? What are we thinking here? If I knew this would happen in our managerial relationship, I would have signed somewhere else. Can't believe it. Damn it, boss. Always the same. But I have some bad news, guys. We've had an episode. I'm not sure I can call it a great episode. I think it was fun. The results, though, 7th is our best result in a sprint stage. 11th in GC, that's heartbreaking. I wish I had the top 10. But I wish I could do a bit better in Calvia, but I bottled the final there, I think. But I'm afraid that's the end of today's live stream. Hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of shit we spoke about. If you're new to this, hit the subscribe button, but I'd be surprised if you're new on stage on episode 11 of a live stream series. But like the video if you liked it. Check out my collaboration with Lucas Plays on his YouTube channel. You can also find it on my YouTube channel on my homepage at the bottom, where he rides a blind Zwift race and I'm his manager. Outside of that, I challenge all of you to join the Vertislow for Nerd Zwift League. That is certain. It starts on November 9 for 6 weeks. Check it out. On top of that, that's kind of it. I hope you enjoyed it, okay? Like, I don't have much else to say here. I've got a Zwift video coming this week, hopefully, and I've got a Sirocco video coming this week, hopefully. Teddy Pikachu will be back probably early next week. That's what I'm aiming for, because I'll focus on the Zwift video first. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.